Hi, I'm Kate and welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk about my current favorite products, full face, and this is going to be very specific to summer. It is the very end of June right now, so what I'm using right now might be different than what I'm using in the winter, both because of weather, skin texture, colors, all that. So these are going to be all the products that I'm currently using and enjoying in the summer. So first up, for brows, I've tried lots of different things and I tend to go right back to the ColourPop Brow Boss. I think it's like $6. It's a retractable little pencil with a spoolie on the end. I really enjoy this, and while I try other things, I tend to go back to this. I try to go a little more natural on the brows in the summer, so using like the dip brow is just a little too heavy. So this product I find is just perfect for the summer. I'm not gonna go into skincare in this video. I might do that another time and go through my skincare routine. But next up is foundation, and for foundation, I've been using the Fenty skin tint and I love it, but for some reason on my summer skin, it's just not sticking, not wearing well underneath products. I think my skin is typically super dry, but in the summer it's less dry, so it's just not working for me. So I dipped back into my Uoma. This is the Say What foundation. I did just have to purchase a new one, so it's on its way because this is pretty much empty, but I love how this is sitting on my skin this summer. It is a soft matte, but it's not drying. I feel like it gives me a really natural finish. I am wearing it today. I love this foundation. I don't even know, I think I stopped using it because I discovered the Fenty skin tint, which I'm sure I will dive back into that as the weather gets cold again and my skin gets dry again, but for now, this is what I'm using. For concealer, now I don't use a concealer to really cover up blemishes, I more just use it to brighten up different parts of the face, and I have been using the One Size. This is the Patrick Star brand. I really like this concealer. This is, I think, my second one that I've purchased. When it comes to face and like complexion products, I don't care for variety. If I find something that works, I will use it and I will repurchase. I'm not really looking for new concealers and foundations at this time, so I'm sure a lot of these products will be the same if I do this again in the winter, but the One Size concealer is great. It's not drying, it doesn't crease too badly. I really enjoy it. Next up in my makeup routine is bronzer, and I'm using the Patrick Ta Bronzer Duo. So it's a cream and a powder. I don't know if you can look at that big pan I have in the cream. I've been using this every single day. Again, I have the lightest shade in She's Statuesque. I really enjoy this product. For this, I'll put the cream on first and then go over with the powder. Whereas with the blushes that are like this, I do the opposite. I go in with the powder and then the cream on top. But I really love this bronzer. It's hard for me to find a bronzer that works for my skin, just being so fair. A lot of them just look too warm and too orangey on me, but I find that this is kind of the perfect tone for me. I have two blushes that I'm going to share, so kind of coming off the Patrick Ta. I do have a few of these Patrick Ta blush duos. This is the shade Do We Know Her. It's more of an orangey blush, but I love how this looks on the skin. These are fantastic. But what I've been using most days is from Moira. This is like an $8 little cream blush. You can see the giant hole I have in the middle. I've been using this to death. This is shade 1, which is my go-to. I have two other shades that I also really like. I used the more pinky shade today. I think it's shade 4. And then I topped it off with a little bit of this just to tone down the pink. But if you're looking for a good cream blush, the Moira blushes are amazing. They just blend out beautifully and they stay all day. Sometimes with cream blushes, I feel like they can wear away during the day, but these ones stay and they just give you a beautiful glowy cheek. And I love it. For highlight, I'm not a big highlight person, so again, I don't really look for a lot of variety when it comes to a highlighter, so I found one that works, so I'm gonna use it until it's gone. This is from Makeup by Mario. This is the shade Opal. You can see I have a big pan in the middle of this too. Again, not looking for a lot of variety with my complexion products. Except for blushes, I do like a variety of blushes, but for everything else, if I've found what works, I'm not really looking for anything else, and this is a great highlighter. For setting powder, I don't use a lot of it. I really only put it on the sides of my nose where I just want to minimize the appearance of my pores, and I use the Kosas Cloud Set. This is the shade Airy. So again, I think it's the fairest shade that they have, but I really like this. I find that this performs pretty comparable to the Hourglass, less of a sheen, which I actually prefer. It's mattifying, but it doesn't make you look dry. So definitely another go-to that I'll be using until it's gone. For setting spray, I think this is probably the third one I've purchased. This is from IT Cosmetics. It's the Your Skin But Better spray. I love this. I even have a mini one to go traveling because this is a little too big to bring on the airplane. It's more than the 3 ounces. I don't know how much it does in terms of like setting makeup where it's not gonna rub off, but that's not really my issue. I more want something that's just gonna keep me hydrated without melting my makeup away, and this definitely does that. It was hard for me to pick a current favorite lip product because I do switch it up pretty often, but something that I think will always be on my favorites is from YSL. This is one of the matte stains. I have a few of these. They are not cheap, but they are so worth it. I wore this one on my wedding day almost 2 years ago now. It was 108-degree heat index here in Minnesota. It stormed. We were wearing masks because of COVID, and this wore beautifully. So these are the YSL stains. I definitely recommend them. You can find them at Sephora. It's a really good variety of shades. I have a red, I have more of a nude. This is kind of a berry mauve. These are amazing. And then on the more affordable end, I've been using a lot of the Juvia's Place. So these are their matte lipsticks. This is the shade Mademoiselle, which I have on over a liner today. And then from their new nude collection, this is the shade Morocco. These are at Ulta. These are, you know, drugstore, but high-end quality for sure. They're matte without being drying. I really enjoy these lipsticks. All right, now when it comes to the eyes, I'm gonna go through everything and then save eyeshadow for last probably. It was really hard for me to narrow down what I'm gonna share. So for eye primer, I keep trying different things and I always come back to the Ulta brand. Again, it's the store brand, it's affordable. This is the shade Nude, which does have a tint to it that's slightly darker than my skin. I tend to go pretty bold with the eyeshadow, so that doesn't really matter. I do have like a white cream base from Moira that I'll use sometimes if I'm going like more pastel, but this holds it all day long. I've tried high-end eye primers. I think I've tried Too Faced, Urban Decay, Natasha Denona. This is what I go back to every time. Eyeliner is another thing that I kind of get what's available or use what's in front of me. So a lot of times I'll use the Stila. I don't have it right now. I have the ABH liquid liner. Now this is more of like a dip one, so you dip it in. What's nice about this is that it's a true matte finish, whereas with the Stila and most others, like there's a little bit of a sheen to the liner, but this is a true matte. So I'll use this until it's done, and then I have a Moira liner that I haven't dipped into. That'll be next. Again, I'm not too picky when it comes to liners, as long as they're not gonna like wash away when my eyes are watering. This is one that stays pretty nice. All right, for mascara, I have like a two-step mascara routine that I do. I've tried some higher end mascaras, like the Bite Beauty was beautiful, but I think they're closing their brand, so it's not gonna be available, and it's really expensive. It's like a $30-some mascara. But my two-step routine, first I use a more volumizing mascara, so right now I'm using the Maybelline Curl Bounce, and I really enjoy it. And then for length, I'll go just on the tips of the lashes with the Illegal Length. So this is like a fiber extension mascara, so I just brush it on the tips and it just adds that length. It's like a tubing fiber mascara. All right, so eyeshadow. I will mention what I'm wearing today because it is really bright and summery. It's not one of my like go-to favorites. This is the first time I've used it in a while, but what's on my eyes today is from ABH. This is the Norvina Volume 4. So it's really beautiful and summery. I use the pinks and the yellow, and then I use both of the glitters down here. I don't normally like glitters, but I really like the glitters in here. So that's what's on my eyes today. It is a really summery, pretty palette, but just not one of my most used right now. But for summer, I do typically go pretty colorful. So of course the Blend Bunny Surge palette, really bright and colorful, really fun neons. This is definitely a go-to for me. Newer to me, but also really colorful and fun is from Cosmic Brushes. This is the Serenity palette, really beautiful and colorful. I've done quite a few looks with this already. Oh, looks like I have a broken shade. But I think this will for sure be a go-to for me this summer. Then for my neutral lovers, kind of my go-to neutral palette right now from Juvia's Place, it is the Nubian Earth. This is beautiful. You have a variety of neutral tones, some really pretty shimmers. Again, I don't do a lot of neutrals in the summer, but this is one that I've definitely been reaching for. So if you're a neutral lover, this is a really great option. So those are all of my go-to products right now. Again, some things might change as the seasons change. You know, I change the colors that I'm using, I change what I put on my face. But right now in the summer, these are my favorite products. Let me know below what your go-to products are in the summer, and if things change for you season to season. I'm curious if that's the same case for everyone else. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.